Is that fifth child? Oh man. What's going on, bro?
What's going on, man?
You, man, you going on?
Ulogy.
What's going on, man?
I'm good. You?
Yeah, man, so the people want to know, man, they be asking and stuff. Because, you know, I'll be like all around town and stuff. Be like, what's fifth child mean? Where you get that name from?
It's an interesting story, actually. I'm really the fourth child in my family. I'm the youngest of 4 kids. And one day I was 18 years old, and I was having a conversation with my mother and my sister, and I found out that there was actually one before me that I never knew about, that didn't make it into the world. You know, that time got cut short kind of early. And like I said, I know I didn't find out about this until I was 18, and I know that my parents weren't going to have 5 kids because they always complained about how 4 was too many.
Right.
And, you know, so when I found that out, I was already rapping by then, but the kind of tip I was on, I was really on more of a battling tip, you know, just writing, just to write, just to say something dope.
Yeah.
And when I found that out, it gave me a whole new outlook on life. It's almost like somebody was sacrificed for me to be here. So if I'm gonna be on this, if I'm gonna be in this world, and I'm gonna be making music and just, you know, being a human being, period, I need to do something worthwhile. I need to contribute something that's gonna affect, you know, the future and affect the present.
You grew up in Jackson?
I grew up in South Jackson. I wasn't born in Jackson. I was actually born in Redondo Beach, California, but I was only there till I was about 3 years old. To Jackson, and you understand in South Jackson all my life.
How is it that you get all this love in Louisiana, man? I heard a lot about, like when I look at your Facebook page, I see a lot of cats writing you from there. You know, in your fan group, a lot of those cats are Louisiana based.
Before I became fifth child, I had a series of names. The battle rapper name thing is not PC at all, let me tell you now. It's not PC, but I used to go by Adolf Spittler. Right? So that's what everybody in Jackson knew me by, up until the point where I changed my name to fifth child at 18. And also at 18, I graduated high school and went to college in New Orleans, Louisiana. So I had been rapping before then and kind of performing, but I hadn't even finished my first album. There wasn't a fifth child of birth. That was my first album until I went to Louisiana. And so also being there, I got in contact with a few different rock bands, and I was actually a member of this band called Empire, starting my freshman year of college. And that's where my performance skills really honed in, you know, because having to keep up with the whole band, and like when we're performing and there's other people on the showcase, like other bands, we have to keep the same energy, you know, I had to keep the same energy as a rapper as, you know, the rest of the band to complement it. So my performance skills really honed in New Orleans, and so they
saw you grow.
They saw me grow for 4 years, and so I still go back.
So, did you ever have to have like this concrete talk with your folks, like, I really want to do this rap thing?
Well, this how it started. My brother was already a rapper. My brother is the one completely who got me into hip hop, who got me into writing, all that stuff. And he was in a rap group when I was around 10 or 11 years old. I wrote my first verse when I was 11. And it's just because I saw, you know, I idolized my big brother and I wanted to do what he was doing. And eventually he stopped. And at first I wanted to quit too. But then I was like, I gotta carry the torch. I have to, you know, keep it going. And so I started, you know, developing my own style and everything. And so my parents already saw it, but I don't think they took it as seriously. So it was never like, we don't want you to rap or anything like that. But I just don't think they saw how serious I was about it. And when I put out my first album, it's like, bam,
Wow.
like right there.
So what was their reaction when they first heard it? First of all, when they first heard your voice on a track, I mean, what was their response?
Well, on the birth, it was a lot more raw.
Yeah.
And like I said, I was talking about anything. You know, it was really more so. Right? It's really more so just getting a lot of stuff off my chest. Not even. It was some parts that, and then some. You know, really embodying and embracing the whole idea of fifth child. You know, so but I was still in my transitional phase, still finding myself as an artist. And by the time True Love came out, that was my second album. It came during the months directly following Hurricane Katrina, when I was displaced from New Orleans. I was going to Millsaps College, and I hated Millsaps, and I was just really depressed. And so I really started. It's a really, really personal album. So when my parents heard that, they were like, "This is really deep. This is really good too," you know. And so they saw how serious I was, and my dad was, you know, blasting True Love hard. So my dad's one of my biggest fans, and he's my street king. Really.
I hear a lot of people say that the '90s was like hip hop's last stand, just because after the quote unquote, I guess, native tongue was kind of pulled away for a second, and we didn't hear much from them for a while. It seemed like rap took several shifts after that, but got a lot away from the consciousness, or even just the poetic prowess, you know, for a minute. And I think that some of it's coming back, because you still got people around like Common and Talib that's doing it. But I mean, as far as who now do you listen to?
I completely understand what you're saying, but in my opinion, to date, Behind the Music was hip hop's last stand. That came out in 2008. I don't feel like a lot of people don't accept it. Like, I don't want to accept the fact that people think that hip hop is dying, because I don't think it's dead at all.
Right.
I remember the intro to Mos Def, Black on Both Sides, just always rings loud in my head anytime people, you know, try to make that argument. He said people talk about hip hop like it's some giant living in the hillside.
Yeah, right.
Like, we are hip hop. Mm-hmm. Like, if hip hop, if hip hop's doing all right, then we're gonna be doing all right. You know, if we are carrying hip hop, you know, I'm not dead. I'm living and breathing. Right. I'm recording every day. Yeah. Like, so I don't feel like hip hop is dead at all.
My stupid question to you is, if God says Stephen tomorrow, or does he call you Stephen, or does he call you Fifth? It depends on what he's talking about. Okay, so he says, Stephen Fifth Child Brown, tomorrow you'll be an animal, but I give you the option of the animal that you should be. But tomorrow when you wake up, you're gonna be that for the rest of your life. What would that animal be?
It would either be that lemur from Madagascar, the lemur king, or an iguana. I used to own an iguana. Her name was Iguanita. I'm dead serious. I'm 100% serious. She was like that long with just her body. So with her tail, she was like, you know, extra.
Why?
When
you looked at the iguana, what made you think that's something I should be right there?
Gangster, man.
She was gangster.
Yeah.
See, I was expecting you to say something like, because they're not limited to terrain. You know, they swim the sea. You know that?
Oh, I didn't know they swim, man.
Yeah, they can swim miles out, man. Yeah, when they get tired, like if they've been rocking the same piece of sand for a long time, they be like, there ain't even no good flies over here, man. I'm gonna do something else. You know what I'm saying? They get out there in the sea and they swim like miles. Yeah. So I gave you something.
Thank you.
Yeah. So do the iguana, man, because the king is kind of, he weird, man. He got a foot fetish too. I don't know if you know. Yeah. But the iguana, man, that's tough skin, and you know that's some survival stuff right there. That's something you can rap about.
And every day, yeah, it's like it's tough skin, and also she like reinvented herself every couple of days, because the iguanas actually shed their skin.
Yeah.
They shed their skin, and I think that's dope. Yeah. It's like, because every day I shed my skin and get rid of my old stresses and do it again every day. So.
Track to track too, right? Yeah.
Track to track.
Ulogy rocks.
Ulogy rocks.
Yeah.